Hello everyone. In this tutorial, we are going to perform an analysis on ODI cricket matches that was held during the time frame 1971 to 2080 in Hive query editor. So before we get to the analysis, let us first load the data in HDFS. For that, I'm going to first open the Who browser and going to create a directory, ODI cricket matches. So I've successfully created the directory, and now I'm going to import my data file into this directory. I'm going to upload it. So from my Cloud Era file system, I'm going to upload the file. That is my odi.txt file. So I've successfully uploaded it. Now I'm going to click on Data Browser's Metastore Tables. So Metastore is a repository for tables and partitions in relational database. So when you create a table, the table definition, that is the column, data types, and comments are automatically stored in the Metastore. So now I'm going to create a table from a file. So let's keep the file name as ODI cricket. The input file, ODI text file that I've recently imported. And now I'm going to check the import data from file option. So my data actually looks like this. So since I'm going to separate the columns using a tab, so I'm going to use my delimiter as tab. I'm going to click on next. Here I have the option of renaming the columns. So I'm going to rename the column as index. I'm going to create the table. And there we have the ODI cricket table created. Now I'm going to open the Hive query editor. So since I've already written my queries for the ODI cricket 1 table, I'm going to use this table. So to the left, you'll be able to see the different columns. That's going to make it easy for you to write the queries and know the columns that are in a particular table. So before we proceed with the analysis, let's first check what we have in the table ODI cricket 1. So this is the index column that we renamed. The scorecard. So the different ODI numbers. So in ODI 1, there was a match between Team Australia and Team England. This is the margin column. So we have the winner playing the second inning in the ODI 1. So it was held in Melbourne on 5th Jan 1971, with Australia winning the match. The hosting country was Australia. As we all know, Melbourne is in Australia. So when you underscore team 1, so this particular column states like team 1 is Australia. So for Australia, since the host country was Australia, it is home to Australia. But to the second team, that is Team England, it was away from home. The second inning was performed in okay, the team 1 being Australia. So Australia played the second inning and England played the first inning. So now let's perform the analysis. So which team won the most ODI during the time frame? So I'm going to use a select count of distinct scorecard as total wins from ODI cricket 1. This is my table name. So this is my alias name, total wins. So I've used distinct because in my scorecard, as we have data, we have different matches with the same ODI. So for the ODI 1, there were many teams which played. So I don't want a duplicate values. So that is why I use a distinct keyword. So here we have total wins 3747. Now let's move to the second one. So the total number of teams that played during 1971 to 2018. So select count of distinct team 1. the alias name total teams from the table ODI cricket 1. So let's just execute it. You can just check the status of the query by clicking on the job browser. So here we see that the query has been running. So we wait. So we have 50% remaining. So here you can see the duration that it has ran for, so 17 seconds. So it has been succeeded. So we have 23 teams displayed here. So to save some time, I have the queries already executed. So I'm just going to explain, focus on the queries. So which team won the most ODI during the time frame? Select winner, counter winner, alias name from the table, group by. So since count is an aggregate function, it'll throw me an error if I don't group by the other columns apart from the aggregate function in my select query. Then I've ordered it. I have ordered it in descending order by the count. Limit 1 returns the first row, from the select statement. So here we have Australia winning the maximum wins. Let's move to the other query. So which team won the most ODI during each decade? So I have used a nested query. So in nested query, we first execute the innermost query. So select winner, I have used a case statement. So here it has evaluated for me. So it has it has taken match date and taken the last two numbers from the match date, last two strings, substring, and evaluated them. It has compared the values. So greater than or equal to 71 and less than or equal to 80. And it's given a column name, sorry, a decade name. So then it has saved it in decade from the table name. In Hive, you have to specify the table alias, otherwise it's going to throw you an error. Select count, counter winner. So this is the alias name for counter winner. Then the decade which has been found from the nested query. Group by, as I told you, apart from the aggregate function, the other columns in the select statement have to be grouped by, otherwise it's going to throw you an error. So this is the alias name. And then select winner wins each decade row num over partition by. So I have partitioned the value by each decade. And here where row num is equal to 1, it means it's going to retrieve me only one particular column, one particular row for each decade. So that way I'm able to retrieve all the which team won the most ODI during each decade. Then let's move to the next one. So which team won the most first or second inning? So the same thing. Margin, since my margin column as the first inning and second inning values. Then I've used a group by and my limit to display the first row. So we have Zimbabwe, which has played in the second inning and won 134 matches. Then I have another query: which team won the most out of home game? So which team has been away from home and has won the most? So I've again used a nested query. So it's the same as the first one. So here I've just added a extra condition where winner is not equal to host country. So here we have the values. That's all. Thank you so much.